Timothy Blackburn not only pulled off the Nevada robbery on December 21, 1998 but also killed his family members in the police chase. Henry Shlumpf, the chief investigator, assigned to the case, was left traumatized by the 3-hour-long negotiation with Timothy, begging him to not kill his family. Bank robbery shocks America. December 21, 1998, was like any other day, except for the grand bank robbery occurring under cover of the night. To date, it remains the largest bank robbery in Nevada. When Henry Shlumpf from the FBI arrived at Charleston Boulevard at around 12 a.m., chaos was everywhere. 2 armed men ran away with a bag of money, while 3 kidnapped janitors struggled to escape and inform the police. As Henry quickly and professionally appraised the situation, a gunshot pierced the dead of the night. The robbers had shot a guard. Henry promptly rushed to the guard's aid and, making good use of the opportunity, the robbers sped away. Henry's first job was to figure out the stolen amount. His eyes bulged open in shock. He later remembered gasping, "Wow, that is the biggest bank robbery in Nevada history right there. $1 million in cash." $1 million was no small amount in 1998. The news spread like wildfire all over America, and all Las Vegas police were on red alert. Finding the robber was their top priority. Searching for a white truck, the police's first order of business was to ascertain the make of the getaway vehicle. That was the only clue they had. It was soon apparent that they were on the hunt for a white pickup truck. While combing through cars in a 10-mile radius, one of the policemen discovered a vehicle parked at a weird angle. Determined to hound after the tiniest of details, they inquired about it. They were rewarded for their nifty and thorough work. One of the neighbors revealed that a white pickup truck was indeed parked here the night before. The most crucial detail was that the truck had 2 wheels on each side of its rear axle. With only the vehicle to go on, the police convinced the bank to offer a hefty reward of $50,000, hoping that a helpful tip would surface. Once again, this tried and tested method worked. Even though their phone lines were flooded with eager tips adamant on making a quick buck, one of them proved to be just the breakthrough they needed. It was an anonymous tip by someone named Foxfire. Henry recalled the call, detailing the exact moment they had their first real clue, and I go, "Okay, Foxfire, what can I do for you?" She goes, "Well, I got a friend who's got a friend who knows somebody who says that her boyfriend's brother has a laundry basket full of money at his house." Caught, but not forever diligent to a T, the police followed Foxfire's tip to a trailer. The telltale white pickup truck was parked outside. This was when the police pieced everything together, realizing that the culprit's name was Timothy Blackburn. However, catching him proved far more complicated than they realized. His sister-in-law Sheila Lim hit the police with her car, providing a perfect opening for his escape. The police did not give up. They let their dogs loose, and after a nail-biting chase, they secured Timothy, his accomplices and the stolen $1 million. Timothy's shenanigans did not end here. He escaped on August 11, 1999, just 8 months after his arrest. None other than his wife, Sophia Lim, helped him escape. While visiting him the week before August 11, Sophia sneaked an electric screwdriver in her hair. That was one hiding place the seasoned jail wardens never thought of. Timothy used the screwdriver to gradually loosen up the glass on his cell. On August 11, Sophia brought a gun and wedged her shoe in a door to help him escape. The clever plan worked, and all police personnel were again on high alert to catch the man. Henry recalled the urgency, saying, "So now we're looking for him. Everybody in Vegas is looking for him." Police urgently located Timothy. The urgency can be somewhat realized from the fact that a false tip resulted in dozens of helicopters and police cars swarming the alleged site. Only when they reached that did they discover it to be a false alarm. The police could only rely on public tips. Every single active man on duty was focused on catching the ever-evasive Timothy. Timothy, after all, was no ordinary criminal. He was unpredictable and, more so, had his scattered family at his beck and call. There was only one way to deal with this situation: to use the family network against Timothy. They apprehended Sophia's sister Seela and Timothy's brother Terry Blackburn, and they had good reason to. Both had helped Timothy escape. Henry sent a strong message to Timothy via his best friend Dewey Cooper that there were severe consequences for the family members if he didn't surrender. He told Dewey, "I want you to tell him that Special Agent Henry Shlumpf, that I've arrested Terry, and I arrested Seela. And I'm going to keep arresting people until he turns himself in." A negotiation that ended with family's murder a week later. The police got an anonymous tip that Timothy was staying at a motel in Las Vegas. How could the ingenious criminal live in the very city where the target on his back was the most dangerous? However, thoroughness demanded they follow through with the tip. The tip was correct. When Henry asked a security guard to knock on every motel door under the pretense of a noise complaint, Sophie answered in Unit E-234. The police finally had their man. When they asked Timothy to surrender, he panicked. Timothy had one demand: to talk to Agent Henry. He did not want to engage with the professional crisis negotiators, putting Henry in the toughest spot of his career. The 3-hour-long conversation between the two was unforgettable for Henry. Just as he convinced Sophia to leave Timothy for the sake of her children, the phone line turned silent. At 6:19 am, a gunshot was heard. Henry rushed out, baffled to suddenly be confronted with this dangerous spontaneity. He later recalled, "I hear somebody say 419. And I don't know what all the metro codes are. None of them are for anything good. But I say, what's 419? And he goes, dead body. They're all dead." It turned out that one of the metro guards on the perimeter had accidentally fired his firearm while putting it over his shoulder. This triggered Timothy to shoot himself, his wife and his kids. The kids were barely 10 years old. This put an end to the unfortunate Las Vegas case. The cost of it was the innocent family, especially the children. To this day, the case is cited for teaching negotiation skills.